Stop being delusional, Emily. We don't need you at such important business meetings, my father said before having security drag me out and replace me with my brother. What he didn't know was that the family company deal he was celebrating, I was the one who brought it to them, and he was about to learn the hard way. My name is Emily. I'm 26 years old, and I've spent my entire life being overlooked in my own family. It started way back when we were teenagers. My brother Brian is 3 years older, charming, social, everything my parents wanted in a child. I was the quiet one, the worker, the one who didn't make them proud at dinner parties. Brian is the face of this family, my mother would say. He has presence and vibes. Brian had a presence. I had a computer science degree and actual skills while he squandered money every party week. 8 years ago, I started working at our family's software company. Small tech firm, decent reputation, steady clients. I worked hard, stayed late. I learned everything to try to improve, despite their harsh treatment and not acknowledging me. Brian showed up when he felt like it, took long lunches, spent company money on expensive dinners and weekend trips. My parents funded every extravagance. Brian needs to network. He's building relationships. You wouldn't understand, Emily. You just code. I coded. I debugged. I handled client complaints. I kept the company running while Brian partied and gambled. Nobody noticed. Or if they did, they didn't care. "Why do you work so hard?" Brian asked once, smirking. "Mom and Dad love me anyway." "You're overworking yourself for nothing." He was right about one thing. They loved him no matter what. 2 years ago, the company started struggling. Clients leaving. Revenue dropping. My parents panicked. I discovered why during a late night in the office. Brian had been diverting company funds, tens of thousands of dollars, gambling debts, casino trips, online poker, and any worse way to waste money. I showed my father the evidence. "Brian made some mistakes," he said, "but he's promised to fix things. He has connections. He'll bring in new business." Brian's connections were other gamblers. His promises were empty. The company kept sliding toward collapse. While they waited for Brian's miracle, I worked on something else. For 2 years, I developed a gaming app in my spare time. Nights, weekends, every free moment. I funded it myself. Server costs, testing, design, everything. I used an anonymous developer account. Didn't tell my family. This was mine. The app launched 3 months ago. It went viral. Top-rated in its category. Gaming communities loved it. Then TechBim Interactive reached out. Major gaming industry firm. Their CEO, Sylvester Reed, wanted to acquire my software. $3.5 million. Life-changing money for me. But I thought about my family. Despite everything, I didn't want to watch them fail. I structured a deal. TechBim would acquire my app and invest in my family's company. Package deal. Sylvester agreed. He wanted my software that badly. I asked him to commit to the family company investment first, then we'd finalize my app acquisition. He agreed. Easier than I thought. Meeting scheduled. I tried to tell my parents I arranged it. My father cut me off. "Brian, this is incredible. Your connections finally came through." Brian didn't correct him. "Just doing what I can for the family." My mother beamed. "We always knew you'd save the company, sweetheart." I tried again. "Actually, I'm the one who—" "Emily, please, let Brian have his moment. Tell me I'm not crazy. Being told to be quiet while your brother takes credit for your 2 years of work? That's unforgivable, right? Drop a comment." I left them to their delusion. All I care about is helping the company, but it got worse. The day before the meeting, my father called me into his office. "Emily, we need you to stay away from the company tomorrow, during the investor meeting." I stared at him. "What?" "This is important. We can't have any distractions. Brian will handle everything." "I arranged this meeting. I'm the one." He laughed. "Stop being delusional. Brian has been working on this for months. You're trying to steal his credit because you're jealous." My mother walked in. "What's going on?" "Emily's having one of her episodes, claiming she arranged the investor meeting." Susan looked at me with pity. "Honey, we know you work hard, but this is beyond your scope. Brian has the relationships for this level of business. I'm the developer they want to meet. Security, my mother called. Please escort Emily out. She's becoming too stubborn and desperate. Two security guards I'd worked with for years approached awkwardly. Brian appeared in the doorway, smirking. Always trying to take what's mine? It's pathetic, Em. You're pathetic. My father nodded. You're fired, Emily. Effective immediately. Brian will handle your responsibilities. Security walked me to my desk, watched me pack my things, escorted me out of the building I'd helped build. I could not believe all this was actually happening. The entire office watched. Everyone I'd worked with for 8 years watched me get thrown out like a problem. At the door, I turned back. My parents stood in the lobby, arms crossed. Regret is one of the worst feelings you'll ever experience, I said quietly. When you realize what you've done, when you come apologizing, I won't listen. Remember I told you that? They laughed. Brian actually doubled over. She's lost it, my mother said to my father. I sat in my car in the parking lot for a long time. Then I pulled out my phone and emailed Sylvester. Change of plans. I'm no longer affiliated with my family company. Let's proceed with the gaming software acquisition only. My lawyer will send meeting details. His response came within minutes. Understood. But since I'm bound to attend the meeting tomorrow, I'll keep to that, and I'll inform your family the investment is off during the meeting. Sorry they didn't appreciate you. I called my attorney next. We're signing tomorrow. Full acquisition, $3.5 million, zero family involvement. Then I booked an apartment viewing in California for next week. Researched startup accelerators, industry networking events, incorporation requirements. I wasn't saving them anymore. I was saving myself. Meeting day arrived. I was at my lawyer's office at 9 a.m. reviewing contracts. My phone started buzzing. Family calling. I silenced it. Sylvester's text came at 9:47 a.m. Meeting with your family was interesting. They had no idea who I was here to see. Heading to your lawyer's office now. My phone exploded. 12 missed calls in 5 minutes. Text from my father. Where are you? The investor is asking for you. Call immediately. Text from my mother. Stop playing games, Emily. This meeting is happening now. Get here and finish what you started. I turned my phone face down and focused on the contracts my lawyer had prepared. At the family office, according to Sylvester's follow-up text, chaos had erupted. Which is the reason for those texts from my parents. The TechBIM representatives had walked in expecting to meet me, found my parents and Brian instead. Sylvester's assistant had asked directly, "Where's Emily Walker?" My father, confused. "Emily? We let her go yesterday. She was becoming difficult and a nuisance." The assistant checked her tablet. Mr. Reed specifically requested Emily Walker be present. Our entire acquisition offer centers on her gaming software. Brian jumped in fast. I'm Brian Walker. I'm the one who arranged this meeting. I have the connections you need. The assistant made a phone call. Stepped into the hallway. My mother apparently tried charm. There's been a misunderstanding. Emily does basic coding work for us, but Brian handles our major development projects. The assistant returned. Mr. Reed has confirmed that Emily Walker is no longer affiliated with your company. As such, we're withdrawing our investment interest. Good day. They started to leave. My father's text, "What have you done?" Brian's, "You're destroying the company out of spite." I didn't respond. Sylvester arrived at my lawyer's office 20 minutes later. Tall, mid-50s, kind eyes that had seen too many talented people get crushed by family businesses. Your family wasn't pleased. Realization finally hit them, and they could not believe their eyes, he said, sitting across from me. They fired me yesterday. Had security escort me out in front of everyone. He shook his head. I've been in this industry 20 years. I've seen this pattern too many times. Families that can't recognize talent when it's right in front of them. We reviewed the acquisition documents. $3.5 million for full rights to my gaming software. Clean break. My name on everything. What's next for you? Sylvester asked. California. Fresh start. I want to build my own tech company. His eyes lit up. Smart. I'd like to offer mentorship if you're interested. Industry connections, investor introductions, strategic guidance. Why would you do that? Because watching your family take credit for your work made me sick. And because your software is brilliant. You have a future in this industry that doesn't depend on people who can't see your value. We signed the papers at 11:30 a.m. $3.5 million transferred to my account by 1:00 p.m. My phone erupted. 47 missed calls. New voicemail from my father, his voice shaking. Emily, please answer. We need to talk. The investor? They left. They said something about your gaming software? The company is in serious trouble. This was our only chance. Please call back. Another from my mother. I don't understand what's happening. But we can fix this. Just come home. We'll talk. We're family. Brian's text. You destroyed everything. The company's going under because of you. Hope you're happy. I listened to each voicemail once, deleted them all. Sylvester and I had lunch, discussed startup strategies, team building, funding rounds. You'll need a solid development team, he said. I know people. Talented developers who value merit over politics. I don't want anyone from my family's company. Good. Fresh start means fresh team. At 3:00 p.m. my mother texted, We're coming to your apartment. We need to fix this misunderstanding. At 3:15 my father said, Be there in 10 minutes. Don't leave. I checked my watch. I'd gone home to pack. They'd arrive any second. I had $3.5 million in my account. Startup plans drafted. One-way ticket to California booked for tomorrow morning. The last thing I need now is unnecessary drama. The doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. All three of them. My father's face red. My mother was crying fake tears. Brian pacing. They were about to discover that the daughter they threw away had been their only lifeline, and now she was gone, because I won't be falling for whatever tactics they have come up with. I opened the door but didn't invite them in. My father pushed forward immediately. Emily, we need to talk about this investor situation. There's clearly been a misunderstanding. I stood in the doorway. No misunderstanding. You fired me. I moved on. We were hasty, my mother said, tears streaming. We didn't have all the information, but you're still family. We can fix this together. Just call that investor back and explain yesterday was a mistake. I met with Sylvester Reed this morning. We signed the acquisition deal 2 hours ago. Brian's face went from pale to red. You sabotaged us. You destroyed the family company out of spite because you got your feelings hurt. I spent 2 years developing a gaming application, privately, on my own time, with my own money. It became top-rated in its category. TechBim Interactive bought it this afternoon for $3.5 million. I tried to include my family to benefit in the deal, and you all acted that way. Be careful with your words, okay? Rather go fix yourself. The color drained from my father's face completely. You... what? The investor meeting you threw me out for? Sylvester Reed came to acquire my gaming software and make a secondary investment in our family company. I structured the deal that way specifically to save you. Then, you had security drag me out of the building and told me I was delusional for trying to take credit. My mother grabbed my arm. Emily, please. We didn't know about any software. We didn't know you were working on something like that. We'll reinstate you immediately. Any position you want. Any salary. Just fix this with the investor. I pulled my arm away gently. I warned you yesterday. I said regret was the worst feeling in the world. I told you that when you came apologizing, I wouldn't listen. You laughed at me, called me pathetic, said I was having an episode. My father tried authority. Stop being selfish. This isn't about your hurt feelings. This is about family legacy, about 40 employees who'll lose their jobs, about everything your grandfather built. I smiled. For the first time in years, I smiled at them with complete clarity and zero doubt. I can't believe my father is trying to manipulate me with such words. I'm moving to California tomorrow morning. I'm starting my own tech company with the $3.5 million. Sylvester Reed is mentoring me personally. I have investor meetings lined up and a development team ready to hire. And you're on your own. I stepped back and closed the door while they were still protesting. They pounded on it for 10 minutes. I packed my suitcase and didn't answer. Over the next week, the calls continued. My father trying authority. You have a responsibility to this family. My mother trying guilt. How can you abandon us? Brian trying rage. You're a selfish human who never cared about anyone but yourself. I blocked all their numbers. My attorney fielded their desperate offers. Whatever position she wants, whatever equity stake, whatever it takes. Too late. I was already in California. The family company continued its collapse. Without the TechBIM investment, without my constant problem solving, it was going down fast. Then the auditors discovered Brian's embezzlement. Over $400,000 diverted to cover gambling debts over 3 years. My parents finally saw what I'd been watching helplessly for years while they praised their golden child. 6 weeks into my new life, my attorney called. Your parents are liquidating assets. They're offering 40% of the company shares at fair market value. They asked if you're interested. I thought about it for 3 days. Despite everything, I didn't want to watch them completely destroyed. But I also wouldn't let them think I needed them. I'll buy the shares. But I have conditions. Brian enters a real gambling addiction treatment program. Not excuses, not promises, actual residential treatment. And I remain a completely silent investor. No contact, no meetings, no family involvement. My attorney handles everything. My attorney finalized it. I never spoke to them directly. Brian entered a 60-day treatment facility. My parents sold me the shares, used the money to stabilize the company. I built my startup in 6 months. Sylvester introduced me to venture capitalists, strategic advisors, talented developers who'd been overlooked by family businesses just like I had been. My gaming software became the foundation for a whole suite of productivity and entertainment applications. Revenues started to double, and I can see significant progress. I hired 15 people, created a culture based on merit, innovation, and mutual respect. Bought a house in San Francisco. Modern, clean lines, floor-to-ceiling windows. Completely mine. My parents sent holiday cards to my attorney's office. I opened them, but I just hope they have really turned a new leaf in reality, and not just because they need me more now. Brian completed treatment and sent a handwritten apology letter. I read it once, acknowledged the effort, and filed it away. Some things you can witness without participating in. The 40% company shares I bought eventually doubled in value when they finally stabilized. I plan to give some back to my parents as anniversary gifts, even though they don't deserve it, but I can see changes in them. Some bridges aren't worth rebuilding. Some family ties are better left severed, but I will try to give them a chance while still maintaining that needed boundary. Here's what I learned. Loyalty to people who don't value you is just self-destruction with better PR. Success built on your own terms beats family approval every single time. And sometimes the greatest gift is being pushed out by people who never deserved to witness your rise. They wanted a golden child who'd save them. I became golden on my own and saved myself instead. Thanks for listening to the end. If you have ever worked hard in a family that only valued the one who did nothing, remember this. Your worth isn't determined by people who refuse to see it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about choosing yourself and building success without toxic family approval.